The biggest obstacle to you investing to infinity is going to be the amount of cash you have in your bank account. That's what's going to prevent you from buying the next deal. Okay, you can go out and borrow money from a bank or from a hard money lender, or you could go raise money. You could start a syndication, raise a bunch of different people's money into a private equity fund. But today, we're going to talk about how you use partnerships to continue to grow your business. Now, there's a couple different types of partnerships. There's a partnership that you might have with your buddy who is also wanting to go flip houses. And maybe you guys decide that you're going to split up the work that you're going to do. That's not the type of partnership that I'm talking about here. I think that the best partnerships are usually done with people who have opposing skills, like opposites attract. Opposing skills, or they're at different levels of their business. Let me explain. I've had a partnership with people in active businesses where, I'm the guy that goes out and makes deals, gets things done, and the other person is the operator type, the analytical type. They know how to do stuff on computers. Okay, that's opposites attracting. I'm the guy that goes, makes deals. They're the guy that goes and gets things done. We both know our place. Opposites attract. That's perfect. The two halves make a whole. Then there is people who are on different ends of the business spectrum. When I started out, I was willing to go out and do whatever it took. And I knew how to go make great deals happen. I had a construction company at the time, and I had a lot of contractors who worked with me. I knew houses. I knew how to make things happen. Those are the skills I'm always talking about, by the way. Deals, managing contractors, knowing houses. And anyway, I went and found somebody, or lots of different people actually, different partnerships, but people who were older. They had the money because they've been through business, but they didn't want to be dealing with all that crap. Or people who didn't live here in this great market that we were in, and they wanted to get into real estate, but they didn't have those types of skills. So they were willing to give me money. I had the skills. They brought the money. Great deal, right? 50-50 partnerships. And that's the type of partnership that we're talking about. You are going to continually work on building your skills up because those skills are going to give you tickets to the ball game. But you need to make sure that you set up the structure correctly to make sure that it's both fair for you and your partner. Your partner wants to invest. I want to talk about that for just a second. Why would your partner do this? Well, because it is a young man's game to go out there and get all that stuff done. By young man's game doesn't mean you got to be young. You got to be zestful. You got to be willing to go out there and bird dog deals and all that kind of stuff. And they have already been through it, but they know that real estate is such a powerful thing that even investing and only getting 50% of the returns is still a good investment for them. It's still better than if they, for instance, lended their money or if they invested in, the stock market. So they want to play a part in the game, but they don't want to have to do the crap. So you're going to handle all the crap. Now, here is the structure that you need to think about. Okay. And this also works, guys, if you are just yourself. All right. This is basically what you have. You have the investment company. Didn't really think that through, but that says investment. Okay. And there is the owner of the investment company, you, and it could be another person. Okay. You guys are both owners of the investment company. Not trying to give legal advice here, just showing you how I set things up. Okay. And you guys are 50-50 partners of this investment business. All right. And once again, guys, it doesn't have to be like this. It could simply be that other doesn't exist. You would still have a separate company that is the investor business. The investment business goes out and it buys deals. Okay. You get a house at 123 Main Street. Okay. The investor buys that property. The investor owns that property. Okay. But the investor doesn't do anything but own property and write checks. The investor goes, the investment company goes, and it hires an operating company. Okay. Now, this operating company does construction. It does maybe wholesale. Maybe it goes out and gets deals and then marks it up and sells it to this investor company. But you could simply go out there and you could just work as an investor. And you could say, I'm going to go find a general contractor and I'm going to go do that work, or I'm going to go partner up or, make friends with some real estate wholesalers. And, I'm just going to pay them a fee. Or you could be the guy, and that could be your operating company. So that's what that looks like. You not only own the investor biz, but you also own the operating company. And the operating company, like I was saying, could be a GC, got a construction company, wholesale company, could be a real estate agent, could be all kinds of different things. All right. And truly, we're going to get wild on you guys here. The operating company, just, I don't want to blow your mind here, but let's just think down the road just a little bit. Okay. That operating company, okay, it's got a GC. General contractors hire a bunch of subcontractors like painters, plumbers, electricians. They hire dumpster companies. They hire flooring companies. Well, I'll tell you, in the past, still have an MEP company. I had a handyman company, sold my stake in it. Actually gave it away because I hated it so much. I had a dumpster company. I just sold the truck and all the dumpsters this year because, needed to focus my attention. You've watched my videos. You could have, let's say that you're a real estate agent. You could have a staging company. Okay. If you do staging. Okay. You're a wholesaler. You could have a mail house. Woof. Okay. You get it. All right. There's all kinds of options. But for those of you who are like, man, what can I do with this? Because, real estate just isn't good enough, because that's, how we operate. That's what you could do. You could grow all these companies that they give you a base because of the real estate. Okay. You are your first customer. So you know that if you go start this dumpster company, well, at least you're selling a few dumpsters a month or whatever to your own houses. That's the way I thought. That's how I ended up with all this crap. But anyway, last year, I really brought it down. Solo house flipper, baby. Okay. One more though is, PM company. Gotta have one of those, but you get the idea. All right. But the important thing here is that these are legit companies, guys. All right. What does it take to be a legit company? Oh, sorry, I didn't show you this. I added PM company right there. Okay. But anyway, these are legit companies. What does it take to be a legit company? Not much. You form an LLC, you file with the federal government, and you set up a bank account, and you make sure you don't commingle the funds. And that's a legit company. Now, if you're going to act as a GC, you got to have a GC license. If you're going to act as a MEP, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, you got to have special licenses for those kind of things. And the municipality that you're in, they'll probably require some sort of business license, but this is all paperwork. And, I question whether I should say these things or not, because I don't want to blow your mind, make you feel like you're overwhelmed. So I want to take one step back here. Guys, you don't have to do any of this crap. You just go buy a house and then go make it better and then go sell it. It could be that simple. Get great deals, go make them nicer. There you go. Buy a crappy house, make it less crappy. There it is. Okay, could be that simple, but I know that you guys beep, 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 beep. Okay, I know because I do it too. Now, let's go back to the partnership thing here, that these are legit companies. So when your investment company that bought 123 Main Street needs to go hire somebody, why can it not be you? And that is a perfect way to make your money as the person out there doing the things. You have operating companies, and these operating companies should get paid for the work that they do. And the thing is, if you are also opening those companies to the public, which, that's what I chose to do. That's why there is all these separate ones. It could just be one operating company, but I wanted to open them up to the public as well. And then you, of course, give the investment company deep discounts and, whatever you agree upon with the partners of the company. And there you go. That's how you get paid today. That's how you make things fair for the actual job you're going to have all day. And that is also how you separate liability. In an operating company, there's going to be a lot more liability that comes with that, just because you're active, you're hiring people, somebody falls off a ladder, something bad happens. You want to protect your investment, and you want to have it in a separate spot. And finally, this gives you control over cash flow. One of the biggest problems in real estate is that you flip a house and, by the time you've bought it, renovated it, waited on the market, it might be 6 months later. And, it's great. You get a big lump chunk of cash, but 6 months later. And if you refinance it, you might not get any cash at all. But now I have this operating company and I can control the cash flow. That's one of the most important things to me. Don't know if you know this, but love controlling how things move around. And there you go. So partnerships are a great thing. That's how I was able to expand my business. Don't have to have them though. You could just buy a house, get a hard money loan, use your own cash, get a bank loan and put some extra money down. You could not set up any of this crap at all, or maybe just have the investment business that you buy the house in. I would at least take that step. I'm telling you, it's way simpler than you think. And especially with it just being an investment business, you could set up the LLC, set up the bank account, and file with the federal government, and there you go. Okay, that's it. Do it. Talk to you later.